On May 7, 2025, an Indian Air Force Rafale was shot down by a Chinese-made missile fired from a Pakistani fighter. The missile had traveled more than 120 miles before it struck, making it one of the longest-range air-to-air kills ever recorded. It wasn't American, and it wasn't Russian. It was Chinese. For years, U.S. defense officials had warned that China was pulling ahead in one of the most important areas of modern air combat, missile range. Until that moment, those fears had mostly been theoretical. Now they had real-world evidence. Just days later, Washington poured billions of dollars into a secret missile program that had been under development for years. And in May 2026, for the first time, the U.S. finally revealed it to the public. Today, we're looking at the Chinese missile that changed the air war, the American weapon built to answer it, and why this race could shape the next generation of aerial combat. Before we get into it, did you know a Chinese missile made one of the longest air-to-air kills in history in 2025? Write yes or no in the comments, because this story changes how you think about modern air combat completely. For nearly 3 decades, the AIM-120 Advanced Medium-Range Air-to-Air Missile was the unquestioned standard in beyond visual range air combat. First fielded in 1991, it gave American and Allied fighters a reliable fire-and-forget weapon with active radar guidance that could engage targets well beyond visual range. The latest variant, the AIM-120D, reaches engagement ranges of approximately 100 miles. Combined with the sensor advantages of American stealth fighters, it was enough to define the battlefield. Then, China fielded the PL-15 in 2016, and the calculation changed. The PL-15 features an active electronically scanned array radar seeker and a dual pulse rocket motor that gives it a range, which the export version alone demonstrated 124 miles in the May 2025 engagement. The domestic Chinese version, operated by the People's Liberation Army Air Force and not available for export, is assessed to be significantly more capable than the variant Pakistan used. In practical terms, the PL-15 means that a Chinese fighter can fire at an American aircraft before that aircraft's own missiles can reach back. That is not a marginal disadvantage. In beyond visual range combat, the side that shoots first from further away controls the engagement entirely. The PL-15 closing the range gap was serious enough. But China did not stop there. And understanding what came after the PL-15 is what explains why the American response went from a classified development program to a $2.9 billion emergency in the space of a few months. China's missile arsenal further than anyone planned for. The PL-15 is not the end of China's beyond visual range missile development. It is the middle of it. The People's Liberation Army Air Force also operates the PL-17, a much larger missile with an estimated range of around 500 kilometers. Unlike the PL-15, it isn't designed primarily to shoot down enemy fighters. Instead, it is meant to target the high-value support aircraft that keep American air operations running. These include airborne early warning and control aircraft, aerial refueling tankers, and electronic warfare aircraft. They may not be the ones firing missiles, but they provide the radar coverage, fuel, and electronic support that modern fighter operations depend on. The PL-17 was built to kill those aircraft from a distance at which no fighter escort can protect them. Together, the PL-15 and PL-17 represent a layered missile threat designed around a specific operational concept. Keep American fighters at a distance with the PL-15 and kill the support architecture with the PL-17. Blind and starve the American air campaign before the close-range fight ever begins. That concept was not theoretical after May 2025. The export version of the PL-15 had just demonstrated in combat what the domestic version was always assumed capable of. And American planners had to respond as if the full capability was already sitting in Chinese cockpits pointed at American aircraft in the Pacific, because it was. America's response came in 2 forms simultaneously. One was a missile program that had been classified since 2017 and was only now being accelerated with serious money behind it. The other was a Navy weapon that almost nobody saw coming and that extended the reach of aircraft that were never designed for this kind of range. Both of them together tell you where American air-to-air capability is heading and how fast it is being pushed there. America's answer: the AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile. The AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile has been in development since 2017, built by Lockheed Martin specifically in response to the PL-15 threat. It remained classified long enough such that until May 13, 2026, not a single confirmed public photograph of it existed. That photograph, showing the missile carried externally on a United States Navy F-18 Super Hornet, confirmed what analysts had been piecing together from budget documents and indirect references for years. The AIM-260 is assessed to exceed 200 kilometers in range, reaching speeds above Mach 5 and fitting within the internal weapons bays of the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II, so that carrying it does not compromise the stealth profile those aircraft depend on. That last point matters enormously. A missile is only as useful as the aircraft that can carry it into a contested environment, and an F-22 that has to open its weapons bay or carry external stores to reach its missile range loses the stealth advantage that gets it close enough to fire in the first place. The AIM-260 was designed from the beginning to fit inside the aircraft rather than hanging underneath it. The budget trajectory tells the urgency story better than any official statement. The program received $894 million before the May 2025 combat use of the PL-15. The fiscal year 2026 budget request pushed that figure to $2.9 billion. A program that had been moving at a deliberate classified pace was put on emergency footing because the threat it was built to answer had just proved itself in live combat on a different continent. The AIM-260 JATM was created because the United States lost something it had held since the Cold War: the range advantage in beyond visual range air-to-air combat. China's PL-15 missile closed that gap, and by some estimates surpassed it, wrote the military machine on April 2026. The AIM-260 is the centerpiece of America's response. But it is not the only weapon being rushed into service. The United States Navy developed something alongside it that extends the reach of aircraft that nobody previously thought of as long-range missile platforms. And the combination of the two systems creates a layered capability that changes the calculus of any air engagement in the Pacific. The AIM-174B, the weapon nobody expected. While the Air Force was accelerating the AIM-260, the Navy was fielding the AIM-174B, derived from the SM-6 surface-to-air missile and adapted for air-to-air use. The SM-6 was originally designed to shoot down aircraft and missiles from Navy ships. The AIM-174B takes that same missile and puts it on an F-18 Super Hornet, giving a carrier-based fighter a beyond visual range weapon with an estimated range of 350 to 400 kilometers. That range exceeds the PL-15, exceeds the AIM-260 in estimated engagement distance, and comes from an aircraft that sits on carrier decks across the Pacific right now. The AIM-174B is large. Carrying it externally increases the radar signature of the Super Hornet significantly, which means it is not a weapon for the kind of contested close-in fight where stealth matters most. It is a weapon for the outer engagement layer. The first shot at extreme range before the stealthy aircraft close in with the AIM-260. Used together, the two systems create exactly the kind of layered capability the PL-15 and PL-17 combination was designed to deny America. A long-range first shot from the AIM-174B, followed by a closer engagement from stealth fighters carrying AIM-260s internally. The architecture is a direct answer to China's architecture. Where this race is heading. The May 2025 combat use of the PL-15 changed the timeline of American missile development in a way that budget documents alone never could. What had been a classified program moving toward a considered fielding timeline became an emergency procurement with nearly $3 billion attached to it. As of late 2025, a senior Air Force official confirmed the AIM-260 was not yet fully operational, citing ongoing integration challenges with fifth-generation fighter platforms. The FY 2026 budget request included $687 million specifically for procurement and continued integration work across both the Air Force and Navy. China's response to America's response is already visible. The PL-17 continues development alongside next-generation missile programs that analysts believe will push engagement ranges even further. The arms race beyond visual-range air-to-air missiles is moving faster than at any point since the Cold War, driven by a specific geographic reality. A conflict over Taiwan or in the South China Sea would be decided largely by which side can establish and hold the beyond visual range engagement advantage in the first hours. Every mile of range on either side's missiles represents a tactical decision that shapes the entire campaign before a single dogfight occurs. Closing. The Indian Air Force Rafale that went down on May 7, 2025 changed more than one engagement. It confirmed for the entire Western defense community that the range advantage America had relied on for 30 years was no longer guaranteed, that Chinese missile technology had matured to the point of live combat effectiveness, and that the classified program Washington had been quietly funding since 2017 needed to move faster than anyone had planned for. The AIM-260 is America's answer. It is classified, it is expensive, it is late by the original schedule, and it is being pushed into service with a sense of urgency that reflects exactly how seriously the Pentagon took what happened over Indian airspace in May 2025. The photograph that appeared on May 13, 2026 was the first public confirmation that the answer exists and is being carried on operational aircraft. What comes after it, on both sides of this competition, will define who controls the sky in the most consequential potential conflict of this generation. America just revealed its most classified air-to-air missile after China proved the range gap was real in live combat. Do you think the AIM-260 closes the gap in time, or is China already a step ahead? Drop your take in the comments.